Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I am having a wonderful day because I am so excited that Point of View is on again. I really, really, really like doing Point of View. I like doing Point of View. I like everything about it, especially all of you who are watching and who are with me and are participating with me. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you. Dear God, as I sit before you to speak, I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. Amen. Today, hello, hello, hello. Thank you for being with me. Today, we're going to talk about what else can we do after the breakup? We know we've all had experiences. We've had someone that we really cared about, that we loved, and for some reason it did not work out. Sometime in our lives, somewhere, and sometimes it could be more than one time that that happened. So, what can we do? This is to help for the past, the present, and the future because we know that it doesn't feel good at all. And then we've also broken up with someone. So it wasn't just that we were just broken up with. Sometimes we broke up with someone else. So we can kind of, if they really cared about us, then we can kind of feel how they felt and see some things in here. Even though we've been through these things have uh, come up and they have happened, but we can still learn from these things. And I am just so thankful because we are just blessed above measure. We are blessed to have all of this information. We don't have to write it ourselves, we can research it. Yes, we can because people have really studied, they've researched, they have done all kinds of searches and everything to bring this to us. And I don't mind searching and researching and finding information that is out here to help us. So I'm going to go right ahead and go into it. I'm in very well mind today. And then I have a different that I mean feel and thrive. FEEL and thrive.com. And remember the other day in one of the presentations that I did, it said that we're not survivors, we're thrivers. How about that? So this is feel and thrive today, and then very well mind. So I am going to go ahead and start with feelandthrive.com, dealing with the breakup. We've all had our, as we say, our hearts broken. We've all been, it seems like our lives have been shattered because of a breakup. But look, we're still here, are we? We're still here. Okay, why breaking up hurts so much and how to heal. And this piece is by Gale. Catherine Gale. She did this. Uh, she uploaded this or presented this on the 22nd of April in 2022. 2022. Catherine Gale. So let's see what she has to say about this. Thank you so much for being with me. I really appreciate it. There's no way around it. Breakups hurt a lot, and we all know they hurt a whole lot. Breakups hurt a lot, no matter what the different reasons were behind the decision, what the different reasons were behind the decisions. The pain of ending a relationship hits you like a brick. And sometimes it seems like it's worse than that. Every happy memory you've ever shared with the person you love floods your mind. You feel like you've made a huge mistake and reason that maybe there's still hope that you will get back together. Have you ever felt like that? I have more than once, but thank God I am a thriver. So are you. We are resilient. God has made us, oh my goodness, we are so resilient. I just sometimes just wonder. I'm in awe about how he made us, how he put us together, and he didn't leave anything out. My goodness. As the days drag on, you reach out to them and get radio silence in return. Oh, yes, that's happened. Your self esteem is on the floor over the romantic rejection. And the thing is, especially when you did not initiate the relationship, then someone comes along, then they get your attention, they get your affection, they get your love toward them, and then they decide they want to go another way. I think it's cruel. It's terrible, 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 even if I'd done it, okay? Even if I had ever done it, it's still bad. Whoever did it, it's a terrible thing to do to a person. We know people's minds change and everything, but don't get somebody's heart involved and then walk away. Okay? So now, this other part is that you go down a social media stalking spiral, obsessively checking their feed to see if they've deleted and replaced you. It's difficult to eat and sleep as you replay the recent breakup and wonder if the other person's feelings are the same as yours. The emotional pain is almost unbearable, and you lay in bed overwhelmed by the negative emotions. So, here's some things you should know, and we're going to talk about these things. Breakups are painful and lead to feelings of grief, which can be similar to the grieving process of a physical death. The next one, science behind breakups, shows that our bodies respond with acute distress, and activate the same regions as physical pain. This is why I chose this, because I like bringing the science, the facts about it. I like it. I like it. The drop in hormones, this is the third part. The drop in hormones such as dopamine and serotonin after a breakup leads to feelings of sadness and obsession with the X, which is an evolutionary response to avoid loneliness and increase chances of survival. And it feel, oh my goodness, it hurts so much when you want the relationship to continue and the person does not respond. I understand. But thank God he has blessed me to be able to control myself. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. When in the earlier years, I didn't have this much control, but we are supposed to learn and mature more as we age. And I thank God for that. So just hold on, hold on. I know it hurts right now. Whoever's going through it hurts so bad, it seems like sometimes your insides are aching. And they really are, many times. So it's not a pretty sight, but it's actually a fairly common reaction. So why does it hurt so much? Let's take a look. Why does it hurt so much? And we're going to talk the stages of grief, the science behind breakup pain, why it hurts so much. That's where we are now. Why does it hurt so much? The stages of breakup grief. The stages of breakup grief. Thank you so much for being with me. When we lose a relationship, we lose a loved one, and that's for real. That's a fact. Like Jed Clampton said, no brag, just fact. I think it was Jed or either the Earl and Scruggs, the singers. But anyway, no brag, just fact. Okay, people who go through relationship breakup report similar feelings to grieving a physical death. It might be a living loss, but the emotional pain is no less jarring, and that is a fact. That's why, after a breakup, many people follow the traditional 5 stages of grief. There's denial, there's anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. So it tells us that when we go through a breakup, many people follow the traditional stages of grief, which are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, finally. So, what is denial? We'll talk about the denial. We're talking today about what else can we do after the breakup. So many people need this. So many people need this. And it is a process. We have to go through the process. So, denial. In the first stage of the grieving process, you are in shock. You feel completely numb and can't wrap your head around what has just happened. Oh, yes, I tell you, it seems like your world is just spinning out of control. So there's no way you can imagine life without this person. You reason that this will all blow over tomorrow and everything will be as it was. How many of you have gone through that? Thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next stage of grief is anger. Been there, been there, been there. It finally sinks in. Your relationship is really over. You search for something or someone to blame and feel cheated and wronged by the partner and by life. There must have been some mistake. You can't believe this has happened and seek a way to express your hurt and anger. So, the second stage of grief is anger, bargaining. Your emotions become too overwhelming to bear. You start looking for a way out of this pit because it seems like you're just stuck in this hurt, this sadness, betrayal, all of that. You start asking yourself, what if? And try to find compromises and solutions. This is the stage of false hope. My goodness. So they say bargaining is the stage of false hope. Next is depression. Despite your best efforts, you realize it's unavoidable. Your beloved relationship is really over. Powerless and defeated, you feel utterly crushed and cry at the drop of a hat. Oh, yes, this is so true. The sadness feels all consuming, and you can't imagine resuming your normal daily life in the face of the loss. Next, the fifth stage of this grief is acceptance. You accept it, okay? Eventually, you reach the final step of the grieving process. Eventually, okay? And I say it's a process, and we have to go through the process. There's no way around it. And if you just hold on and go through the process, you will thrive. I promise. I guarantee you will thrive. So hold on. There is a process, and we must go through the process to get to the other side of the hurt. Okay? So eventually, you reach the final step of the grieving process, acceptance. You've accepted it. You know it's a done deal. Okay? You can acknowledge your pain and reflect on the relationship without falling apart. That's when you've accepted it. That's when we've accepted it. Okay? It is bittersweet, and of course it is bittersweet, bitter and sweet at the same time. But you are grateful for the love you and your ex once shared and feel ready to move forward without them. Oh, yes. So you've gone through the stages. So, how is it possible that so many people worldwide can suffer the grief of a painful breakup, yet continue living their everyday life? How is that possible? Why do we feel like the only human in history to hurt like this when so many of us share the experience? Why do we feel like the only one is going through this when millions of people are sharing the same experience? What can we do to stop the pain and heal a broken heart? So, researchers have explored the answers to all these questions and more, and the results might surprise you. Now, we're going to the science behind breakup, the science behind breakup pain. This is where I'm really excited to be. The question is, what else can we do after the breakup? So here's the science of breakup pain. We've gone through the 5 stages of grief. We've talked about that. Now we're going to the science of breakup pain. If you've ever grieved a past relationship, you might be familiar with feeling physical pain over the loss. This is no accident. Got it? This is no accident. So, what I really love about life, I love about this great world and the great God that created the world. He has everything here for us, everything we could ever need, some things we will never think of, but when the time comes and we need it the most, is always supplied. And that's why I say if you've ever grieved a past relationship, you might be familiar with feeling physical pain over the loss. He provides everything we need. He provides his information for us. So this is no accident. It's no accident that we physically feel pain when we go through a breakup. So it turns out that we are biologically wired to respond with acute distress when we endure a relationship breakup. It's built into us. Brain scans have revealed that the same regions light up when we are experiencing physical pain and also become active when we process breakup pain. This suggests that our bodies literally cannot tell the difference between the two. Isn't that amazing? The same areas light up in the brain. And so they said this is proof that the body can't tell the difference. When you're hurt, you're hurt. Okay? So no wonder we feel like we've been gut punched when we think about a former partner. And it doesn't stop there. There is scientific evidence that the newly single can resemble drug addicts going through withdrawal. That's serious business, isn't it? But I understand this. I truly do. Never been a drug addict, never gone through withdrawal, but I've felt some deep, deep, deep hurt. And it takes time. And we're going to go into the time thing later on. I don't know whether it's in this one or the other one. Studies have shown that our happy hormones crash right after a recent breakup. So when we're going through a painful breakup, our brains pump the brakes on producing dopamine and serotonin, the neurotransmitters that control pleasure and happiness. Isn't that amazing? This is the science of it. When we're going through a painful breakup, our brains pump the brakes on producing, they stop producing dopamine and serotonin, and these are the neurotransmitters that control pleasure and happiness. Amazing, isn't it? The chemical response gives us crazy cravings for our exes. In a way, we are addicted to them. And that's a fact, whether we want to admit it or not. It's a fact. It is so true, isn't it? Thank you for being with me. So, if you're obsessing over your ex, you're not going crazy, okay? Just think about it. If you're obsessing, you're not going crazy. You can't help it. You just can't help it. I've been there. I know you cannot help it. I couldn't. So if you're obsessing over your ex, hey, wait a minute. Don't think you're going crazy because you are not, because you can't control your emotions and your feelings at that time. Okay? You can blame your whacked out brain imbalance for the feelings of sadness and fixation. Research has shown that without those hormones, we go through something like clinical depression and can't think about anything else. Isn't that something? That's something. I am so glad that God guided me to bring this topic today. So, why it hurts so much? This is point of view. Cleaster, Eula, and Maritha are doing their uh, thing today. They are working. They are working. So why it hurts so much? Let's find out, why does it hurt so much when we have a breakup? But why do our bodies betray us? Aren't we already having a hard time without our mental health making it worse? Researchers theorize that these neural reactions are the result of evolutionary survival instincts. You see there? I told you God didn't leave anything out. We are perfectly made. We're made in His image. He put everything in us that we need in this world. Humans are not meant to be alone. Our species depends on having social bonds and sexual relationships. Okay? It's in here, is science. Our species depends on having social bonds and sexual relationships. That's how God set it up. So we are more likely to thrive together than alone. Back in the prehistoric days, romantic rejection could mean the difference between life and death. Shelter, hello, hello, hello. Shelter, food, and protection were necessary to survive the harsh elements. Back in the prehistoric days, okay? That could be why even a friendship breakup can hurt as much as a romantic relationship breakup. We evolved to associate relationship loss with physical danger. Wow. I'm going to say that again. We evolved to associate relationship loss with physical danger. Thank you so much for being with me. So, what about our daily life? What about in our daily life? We're independent creatures. Yes, we are. There's no need to have a partner to survive anymore. Yet, modern breakups still make us feel like we're going to die. And that's a fact. Like, who that said that's a fact, Jack? So there are lots of different reasons we have a hard time when we suffer the loss of romantic love. Many people find that they dream of their ex after a breakup, which can cause a lot of continual pain, even if that person tries to move on. So this is someone who you spent countless hours with, maybe even years. You know each other better than anyone else. Yes, from the way their hand feels in yours, the reason they love their favorite song, you are intimately familiar with one another. You have your own little language of inside jokes and memories no one else shares. You have your own. I don't care if they messing with somebody else or you messing with somebody else. You still have your own thing. Okay? You still have your own thing. Now the thing that really hurts is when you find out they've been sharing your and his thing with someone else. And when you see them and one of these things pops up, you identify it, and that hurts too. Okay, let me go on. They've told you secrets no one else knows, and you've shared your deepest hopes and fears with them in return. This is the first person you want to share good news with, and the last person you want to talk to before you fall asleep. So these kind of intense and passionate relationships can leave people with a little condition called one-itis. Okay, one-itis. But that's a topic for another day. Okay? So how to heal from a painful breakup? How do we heal from a painful breakup according to this here? How do we heal from a painful breakup? This is going to help somebody. Where does all that love go after you break up? How do you change your routine when they are no longer a part of it? Will things ever get better? And you wonder about this. This too shall pass, okay? So here's what not to do when you're starting the healing process. Here's what not to do when you're starting the healing process. Avoid jumping right into a new relationship. So some people have messed up on rebound relationships. So it's telling us things not to do. Avoid jumping right into a new relationship. It might feel tempting to numb the pain by immediately replacing your romantic partner with a new person, but this is not a sustainable solution in the long run. It's called a rebound relationship for a reason. The pain will snap back and hit you just as fast when things fall apart as quickly as they started. You're more likely to build a healthy relationship that will last after you go through the healing process. After you go through the healing process. Try not to take your feelings to social media. When you're dealing with the breakup, your emotions are all over the place. And we've seen it on social media, haven't we? We've seen people airing how they feel, and some of them be a cussing and a fussing and all of that. But it tells us to try not to take your feelings to social media. When you're dealing with the breakup, your emotions are all over the place. From denial to depression, you are pinballing between the stages of grief. Oh, yes. This is great advice, isn't it? Thank you so much for being here. This is a common reaction, but taking it public can be a huge mistake. It can be huge. And so many people have regretted that, said and done things and revealed all kinds of things out there, and now they regret it. You don't want to drag your ex or detail the drama of mutual friends or two mutual friends only to regret it later. Be wise before you pick up the phone when your feelings are still raw. Be wise, be wise. We have to be wise as serpents, and whether we want to or not, harmless as doves, okay? Don't neglect your mental health. You might want to show your ex what they're missing with the physical transformation. But while you're hitting the gym, don't forget about strengthening what's on the inside. Physical health matters, but emotional support is just as important when you're grieving. This is so good. So take the time to process all those negative emotions and reflect on all the different reasons things didn't work out. Reflect on all the different reasons that things did not work out in the relationship. Understanding what went wrong in your past relationship is crucial to recovering and successfully moving on from a former partner. This is super. So please, I ask you, I know you have people that come to you and you just feel so helpless because you cannot help them at that time. You can just sit there, be compassionate, empathetic, and sympathetic with them because at the time that the hurt is going on, that's just about all you can do. Pray for them. That's about all you can do because when that hurt comes, it hurts real bad. So, what should you do instead? Focus on personal growth. This is very important. Focus on your personal growth, okay? Personal growth. Think about all the things you wished you could do when you were together but couldn't do for whatever reason. Did you dream of getting a dog but they were allergic to pet hair? See, think about things, okay? Maybe you love going to live music concerts but they always hated being in crowds. Or you always wanted to travel the world, but your former partner preferred to stay close to home. Think about it. So, whatever held you back before isn't a problem now. If you give yourself some time, go through the grieving process, then you think about some things, whatever held you back when you were in that relationship isn't a problem now. You're free to explore those parts of your life or yourself that you may have been neglecting in your past relationship. Take the time to get to know yourself again as you relearn who you are outside of your romantic partner. As time goes on, you'll start recalling all the things you didn't love about your ex. For real. The way they were always late, how they never wanted to try new restaurants with you, the fact that they didn't get your taste in clothes. So many things you start thinking about. So these are not things to regret or to be irritated about. Got that? These are not things to regret or be irritated about. Instead, think of them as helpful clues to the traits you do want in a romantic partner. Remember what you've learned from your previous relationship so you can make better choices in the next one. This is making so much sense. This is helping somebody. One of the best things you can do when you're nursing a broken heart is to lean on a trusted friend or family member for support. And I thank God, I thank God, I thank God that He has people in my life that I can lean on and trust, or that I could lean on and trust when I was going through this. My God. Even when Ella Davis went into eternity, family, family, family. In the midst of a painful breakup, the last thing you might want to do is talk about your feelings. Many times we want to withdraw to our rooms and process the deep hurt all alone. We feel that no one could possibly understand what we are going through, and there is no point in burdening those around us with our depression. This is exactly the opposite of what we should do when we are feeling down. Exactly the opposite. Our close friends want nothing more than to be there for us through thick and thin. Now that's when you're a true friend, loving family members, they want nothing more than to be with you through thick and thin. And the same with you if you're a family member or your friend is going through that. So if they know you're going through breakup pain, chances are they will do anything to help you recover. And doesn't it make you feel so helpless when you know that you can't get that hurt for them? You can sympathize, empathize, pray, but when they're going through that hurt, it hurts because you cannot stop it. You cannot stop it. They have to go through the process. And when they feel the same way about us, if we're going through it, we have to go through the process. No one wants to see someone they love go through a hard time alone. You don't have to tell them everything, but just getting out of the house and being with friends or family can be enormously helpful. If you aren't ready to talk about how you feel, tell them that. A trusted friend will respect your wishes and come up with a plan to take your mind off the recent breakup instead. Don't be afraid to let people into your healing process. Don't be afraid to let people into your healing process. And the Spirit of God will guide you as to who to let in and who to keep out. All right? Sometimes there are things we don't feel comfortable telling our close friends. Consider seeking professional emotional support if you find yourself hesitant to share details with those you know very well. Therapists are experts when it comes to counseling people through painful breakups. They can offer a new perspective on the situation that you might not have even considered. This is particularly important if your ex didn't treat you well. So, if it was an abusive relationship, your self esteem probably took a big hit. A clinical psychologist is a trained professional that can help you work through the damage your former partner has done. Taking intentional steps to unpack the abuse is vital to leaving the past behind and making better choices when you're ready to find a new romantic partner. Yes. Don't forget Peace of Mind Counseling. And my phone number is right there on the screen. You can text me, message me. We can have a session through the video chats or on the phone, however. But whatever you're going through, if you need some counseling, don't hesitate to call. Don't hesitate to get in touch with me. And if you don't prefer me, please get in touch with someone. Someone. Okay? Final thoughts. There's no shortcut to getting over a breakup. It's the death of a dream and the loss of a loved one. There might not be a funeral to attend for your relationship, but that doesn't make your grief any less legitimate. Do you hear that? Think about it. Think about it. Yes. So, treat yourself as you would a close friend. Be gentle with yourself. Don't beat yourself up over mistakes of regrets. Think back fondly on your happy memories and release the sadder ones. Accept that everything was meant to be, just not made to last. Oh, isn't that good? Wow. Accept that everything was meant to be, just not made to last. My goodness. The healing process is slow and it's unsteady. Don't rush through it. I'm telling you, this is great advice. Don't rush through it. Embrace the feelings as they come, no matter how confusing or uncomfortable they may be. You are building back a better version of yourself, whether it feels that way or not. When you're going through this, it doesn't feel good at all, but please go through the process. Go through the process. Most of all, remember to find hope. That little voice inside of you that says the sun will come up tomorrow and you can try again, okay? That little voice inside you that says the sun will come up tomorrow and you can try again, okay? Remember, find hope. Trust that what's meant for you will find you in the right way at the right time. Love yourself first. The rest will follow. This is super, isn't it? Dealing with a breakup. And you can share this article. And this is uh, feeling. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is the new one. Get back up here. This is super. Wow. I am so excited about this. This site is, and I said it, but I'm going so far up here so I can get the site again so I won't have to go so close to the screen. Feel and Thrive, FEEL and Thrive.com, dealing with the breakup. Okie dokie. Now let's go to our next one, which is Very Well Mind. You know, we've been in Very Well Mind more than once or twice. This is a great site. Relationships. How to get over someone. How to get over someone. This is by Sherry Gordon, and this was updated on December the 7th, 2023, and it was medically reviewed by Amy Morin, LCSW. Okay. Very Well Mind articles are reviewed by board certified physicians and mental health care professionals. You see, I don't be I don't be putting out just anything, okay? I want to make sure that it's right when I put it out and that I can relate to it. So, tips for helping yourself through a bad breakup. Allow yourself to feel the loss or feel sad. Talk to loved ones and or a therapist. Delete X from your social media. Okay, then you can practice self care. Some people let themselves go. Journal your feelings and make yourself your main priority, not your ex. Make yourself your main priority, not your ex. So, the end of a relationship, at the end of a relationship is never easy. Breakups are filled with raw emotions, including everything from hurt and betrayal to anger and sadness. See, they all agree with each other, don't they? That's what I focus on, making sure that the materials I research and present are in sync. So, but although heartbreak may feel like the end of the world, the reality is that the pain and anguish you feel right now is only temporary. We have to realize that it's only temporary. This too shall pass. Trouble does not last always. Okay? A particular trouble does not last always. Now, other troubles will come, but they're not the same as the one that passed. Okay? Eventually, you'll be able to move on, and one day you'll find love again. One day you'll find love again. One day at a time, okay? In fact, research indicates that it takes about 11 weeks to feel better after a dating relationship ends, according to a study published in the Journal of Positive Psychology, okay? That's according to a study that's published in the Journal of Positive Psychology. It said it takes about 11 weeks to feel better after a dating relationship ends. And I know that I've been so hurt to it just seems like, it and at nighttime it just seems like that's when it really just falls down on you and you want the day to come. You want the day to come. So it takes about 11 weeks 11 weeks to feel better after a dating relationship ends. So, meanwhile, there's a separate study that found that it may take up to 18 months to heal if it's a marriage that ends. Either way, neither situation goes on forever. I can attest to that too. I'm a living witness. Thanks be to God, thriving. Hallelujah. Just remember that getting over heartbreak and moving on is a grieving process, you see, that looks different for everyone. And that's what I tell people. Everybody is different. Everybody is different. So it says, just remember that getting over heartbreak and moving on is a grieving process that looks different for everyone. And I'm taking my time with this because I want people to hear it and understand it. Consequently, don't hold yourself to any set time frame. And there are people who have been telling you need to get over it. You've been going through this for this long. You need to go ahead and get over it. Suck it up. Do this and do that. You just need to get over it. You've been in this state too long. What does this say? Don't hold yourself to any set time frame. Now we know when it's unhealthy for us. You might not, we personally might not understand, but someone watching us and that loves us and cares for us, they can detect when we're in an unhealthy state, emotionally and physically. So this is serious business, okay? It says don't give yourself a time frame, like yourself any set time frame, and that's in a healthy way, okay? So there are a lot of factors that impact your healing, including how long you were together, the memories and traditions you shared, and even if you had children together, but you still get through it. Yes, you do. You still get through it. And it seems like when you start going through it, that is not going to end. But the word through, that means you get to the other side of it. Okay? If you go through it, and you must go through it to thrive. All right? So get help now. We've tried, tested, and written unbiased reviews of the best online therapy programs, and this is very well mined. And it's talking about Talkspace, BetterHelp, and Regain. So you can find out which option suits you best. And then there's Peace of Mind Counseling. All right. My goodness, why breaking up hurts so much? Oh my goodness, I am really moving on. Why breaking up hurts so much? I have 10 minutes. Relationships with others form the foundation of a person's life. Oh my goodness. As a result, when you lose a relationship, especially one that you considered important and central to your life, it's like losing a part of yourself. Couldn't describe it any better. It is like losing a part of yourself. It is not uncommon to feel like you have lost your sense of meaning and purpose in life. See, this is for somebody, they researched it, they talked to many, many people about it, and this is why these facts come out. You're not alone. We are not alone. When I was going through it, I was not alone. But at the time, it did seem like that I was hurting so bad that nobody else could feel this, nobody else could know, but millions and billions of people have been through this. And they haven't been through it as you or as me. And we have to understand and realize that, okay? It is not uncommon to feel like you have lost your sense of meaning and purpose in life. You may even feel like you lost a huge part of yourself. And in some respects, you did. So you will not be the same person you were when you were with your ex. You're not going to be, it can't be the same person. So we have to realize that. And that's a good thing. We can go on and live the life that we're supposed to live without that person. Well, we've got to go through the process. But if you wallow in the feeling of loss and shaken identity for too long. He said, wallow, wallow, okay, wallow. If you wallow in the feeling of loss and shaken identity for too long, you will end up clinging to your past and desperately trying to fix the relationship so that you can get your ex and yourself back. That's a fact. As difficult and painful as it might be to accept, you have to let that part of you and your life go. You have to. If you're going to thrive, you must do that. You've got to go through to get to, okay? It's part of the past. Yes, it is hard, but you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can take the steps needed to get on with your life. So, how do you get through a breakup? Okay? Getting over someone has a lot to do with how you think about the breakup, your ex, and even yourself. Consequently, as you navigate the muddy waters of your breakup, you need to continually remind yourself that this is a process, not a destination. Now, that's a tough one. That's wonderful right there. That one, what do they say? Put a pin in it. It's a process, not a destination. This is awesome, isn't it? This is wonderful. And this is in very well mind. Not only do you need to be patient with yourself, but you also need to take the time to really think about who you are, who your ex was, and why your relationship didn't work out. Learning from this experience will not only make you stronger, but it will also help you know what you want in a relationship and maybe have more success the next time around. So, here are some steps to processing your breakup and getting on with your life. I'm going to have to get on through this. Take your time. Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? Take your time. Thank you so much for being with me. Getting over an ex is a process. It is not something you can rush through. What's more, you should avoid rebounding dating or avoid rebound dating at all costs. While going out immediately after a breakup may put a band-aid on your pain, it won't cure it. Got it? And as hard as it might be, you have to face your feelings and deal with them in honest and effective ways. You have to. You have to. There's no way around it if you're going to be successful. So, sure, this process sucks, as they say, or that it stinks. I don't like using that word anyway. But anyway, I misread it. Sure, this process stinks. It takes a lot of time, energy, and hard work to process your feelings and emotions. But in the end, it will be worth it because you will come out stronger and better than you were before. Now, what next? You have to allow yourself to feel. No one enjoys experiencing pain. But the fact of the matter is, you have to allow yourself to feel, FEEL, if you're going to heal, HEAL. Ignoring your feelings, pretending like they don't exist, or trying to numb them in some way is only going to set back your recovery. This is strong and good. Be honest about the hurt, pain, and rejection you're feeling. There is no shame in being sad. I'll repeat that. There is no shame in being sad. Chances are you spent a good portion of your life with this person, and breaking up is bound, BOUND, to cause some very strong emotions. It's only when you take an honest look at how the breakup made you feel that you will be able to navigate through your emotions in a healthy way. Then the next is ask for help. It's rare that people come to a decision to end the relationship at the same time. So when a breakup occurs, one side is usually shocked and hurt. Consequently, these feelings of shock, rejection, hurt, and even betrayal can be difficult to navigate, especially alone. So talk to your friends about how you're feeling. Just be careful not to dwell on your breakup every time you talk. Be a considerate friend and sincerely ask about their lives as well. Great advice, isn't it? So if you find that you need more support than what a friend should be expected to provide, consider talking with a therapist, a counselor, or religious leader. They are trained to help people navigate breakups. Those that are trained. Everybody cannot help you. Okay? Remove your ex from your social media. This is the second time or third time we've come to this. Nothing will set your feeling back more than stalking your ex on social media. Every time you see a post with their smiling face, it will be like ripping a scab off the wound. The bleeding and pain start all over again. So unfollow them on all your accounts, especially if it was hard and hurt, okay? And it was overbearing. Yes, do that. Even though it is tempting to see what your ex is up to, making a clean break is better for your healing process. Is it two? Almost 1 minute. There is a certain amount of peace and comfort that comes from not knowing what they are up to and who they are spending time with. Allow yourself there. Avoid drunk communication. Nothing's worse than getting drunk and texting or calling your ex to ask what went wrong. Usually, when people are intoxicated, they lose their filter, and you are likely to say some things that you will regret in the morning. For this reason, you may want to remove your ex's contact information from your phone and delete their email account from your computer. Better yet, avoid drinking excessively altogether. So, drunk dialing your ex never turns out the way you might hope, and in the morning you're likely to experience shame and embarrassment. So, what's more, your ex could share your voicemail messages or text messages with other people, and some of them are like that, malicious. And then, depending on what you said in that state, it might be a threat or something. They could share it with their lawyers and the court, and then you have to deal with the consequences. So, this is great. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Okay, so what's more, your ex can share your voicemail messages or text messages with other people, further compounding your embarrassment. For your sake, you should avoid situations like this at all costs. And next is to view the relationship honestly, take care of yourself, rediscover who you are, journal your thoughts and feelings, let go of anger and blame. These are good. Turn it into a positive. I'm going to have to come back and finish this. Remember, there are others out there. So, okay, so we will start, God willing, on this section right here. View your relationship honestly. I love you so much. I thank you so much for joining me today. You are awesome. It's been a wonderful, wonderful webcast. And I thank you so much for being with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are awesome. I love you so much. And please enjoy the remainder of your day.
Oh God, I'm calling on you. Oh God, I'm enlisting the saints to pray. Can you hear me? Can you feel it? Can you hear it? Can you feel it?